lead. So they have time for practice. So it's so cool that the singers can just come up and Ethan can just do what you do. Do you guys appreciate this, what he leads? Yes? Anybody? It's great. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, band. Thank you, singers. I love you guys. You know, it's not easy doing that. I can't imagine being a worship leader. It's one of my biggest nightmares. You guys do a great job. You guys, we're doing our summer series. No one new here tonight. You should all know we're going through AAA. Trying to give you guys some practical tools of how to share your faith, how to share Jesus with your friends. You don't have to wait for September when school starts. You all have peers that you can share with. So this is to give you guys some tools to go through this system. And so our leaders are highlighting who demonstrated the AAA to them at whatever point in their testimony of when they found Jesus. So last week I got here from White. We had like 6 or 7 students here that heard White's story. I heard he did a good job. And tonight you get to hear from someone who is different. Oh yeah, moratorium. We never did unmoratorium. Was it when you switch to the mic though? Yeah. So moratorium, it kicks in right now. So someone that I respect highly, who is wired for youth ministry, I think a lot more than I am. This person is, wow. You don't even need an introduction. Sabrina, come up here. You guys know this girl. Everybody knows her. She's gonna share tonight. I need you guys to do me a big favor. I need you guys, everyone look right at my eyeballs. Look at the depths of my eyeballs.
I can't see your eyeballs.
Look right, wow. Look right at my eyeballs. Look at that. Look right at my eyeballs. I need you all to be totally silent. Give me your utmost respect. Silence, no phones, total silence, and respect her. Because what she says is soft-spoken. But there's truth, and it's loaded in what she says. She shared last night. She did a great job. So, I pray for you. We can dive in. You ready again?
Yeah.
Jesus, thank you for Sabrina. What an awesome lady. Great example to everybody here. And I want to praise you for her and that you use her to just show people who you are and to help her be able to speak what you want her to say. And I thank you for her. Jesus, I pray this in your name. Amen.
Okay.
So you've been hearing a lot about Tamor. Tamor was amazing. Okay, so there was this thing with my cabin that I kind of... Moratorium. Calling that now because this is the message time and I don't need to be distracted. Okay, so I want to point something out that was really cool with my cabin. I do this every year. We find a little name for like my cabin girls and we do that and then there's this response thing that happens. So if I was like, Fredericks, that's my girls. Okay. So... Yeah, I know. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. There's a lot of memories I could open up with this last week of camp, but I think this video might just might just show that. Aubrey's going to drag that over and make sure it's full screen. So I was on Haley's bunk. And Kira was attacking. That's my suitcase. Just some fun camp shenanigans. That's it. It's repeating itself, so we can drag it back over. And that will be for another time. So every year there's some kind of fun with my lovely little squirt bottle. What? Oh, 2 years ago there was mutiny in my cabin, so Carly got tied up and sprayed. There's a lot of famous. Oh, no, I would have done you guys singing. That's for another time. Another embarrassing youth group time. So, no. So speaking of Tamor, there's also some pictures to show. Because all of you girls were amazing. And I believe in Aubrey and her skills. She is bomb back there. Can we give some applause for Aubrey? Let's go. Okay, so PowerPoint. It'll be on the slides. That's what you want. Can we give it up for Aubrey? She's doing this all by herself back there. So this was a really fun week. We had a luau night. This was before we left camp, and all of us leaders were so happy. And the ginger is my friend. His name is Tu. I was on his team 2 years ago. Yeah. This is Kira. Scaring me because she jumped on me. It was great. And, holding Carly during the luau. And just, chapel time. Time was a great time. Worship was amazing. I love, love, love worship. And this year was amazing. I ended up being able to really... I know, Tower's exciting. Let's bring it in now. This is my turn to talk, ladies. So, worship was amazing. It's one of those things that I love going to camp because we spend so much time in worship. And it just helps calm me down and keep me from murdering a whole bunch of beautiful middle school girls. So, anyway, but that's not why I'm here tonight. Tonight, I'm here to talk about my story, and it starts when I was a young, small child. Aubrey. Young, small child. With crazy, crazy hair, even crazier than now. And yes, that is me in elementary school. Oh, so this is, flashback right there. Okay, we don't need to stare at these pictures for much longer. Anyway, basically, when I was in elementary school, I had this friend. And because of this friend, I went to Awanas over at Bethel, which is now Baker Creek Community. And, whoa. Anyway, so that was kind of my introduction to anything Jesus related. There was one time because of this friend, we went to this church. I believe we went with another friend. And we went to a church on Sunday. It was my first real experience because my parents never went or anything when I was growing up. And we were sitting there, and this friend of mine, she was an interesting character. She was very manipulative, very selfish, very thinking only about her. She would use me to get out of trouble, blame me for a bunch of stuff. She would pinching. She loved pinching. There was one time we were at Power Hour at Columbus, and she leaned over and pinched me super hard, almost blood status, and I screamed out in pain, and then I got in trouble. That's just kind of how this friendship worked. So anyway, we're at the church, and we're getting near the end, and she leans over and she's like, "Hey, we should say we accept Jesus into our lives so we can get all this cool free stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, bro." I was just kind of nodding along because I was the super shy, introverted kid at that point in my life, and I'd yet become the crazy extroverted person you see up front.
Oh yeah.
Yes, mommy.
So, what she didn't realize though, while I was sitting in that pew or that chair or whatever it was, I was really listening to what was going on, and I understood that if I said that, I was making this promise to this creator, this guy that created everything, that I was going to believe in him and live my life for him. And it just kind of made me think, do I really just want to say yeah, I'm doing this for the free stuff? Or am I actually going to live that? And when it came to that time to do that prayer, I really prayed those words. I really focused on them, and I truly believed them. And then from that point on, in living my life for Jesus. It's had its bumps in the road, but that's just human. Fast forward to middle school. I actually spent most of my time in this church. A few months before going into 6th grade, actually, is when we started going to this church, and that's when things changed. So I got into 6th grade, and I went through 2 different small group leaders within a few months, and I was it was either me or one other person. And then along came Sue. So Sue was my small group leader from that point until I bridged up to high school. She was amazing. I ended up getting a lot more, actually getting friends to go with me, and it wasn't just me anymore. And This woman, she is my AAA for the night, imaginary person. She really took the time to get to know me. She asked questions. She'd be like, how are you doing? How's your week? What are you getting into? What are you doing with your free time? Really choosing to get to know me. Making me feel really comfortable and wanting to come back each week, not just for all the fun games and loudness and woo. And then she took a next step. I would come to her for advice on things, like I would mess up or something like this, and she would just sit there and she would listen, and she wouldn't look at me like some super disappointed adult, like, what are you doing with your life? She looked at me and it, like, with that admiring, like, so yeah, the second A, admiring. And honestly, like, I felt like I wasn't being judged for whatever I did, which kept me coming back. And eventually, when I was asking for that advice, she would sit there, or stand, or whatever it was we were doing, and she would give advice, but not just any advice. She would sit there and talk about her life story too, and how it could connect to mine. Whether that be, don't do this because I did this, or I did this and you should follow my example. It was a great, great time. And I noticed with all of my like small group leaders after that, into high school, and even my camp counselors, like, these ladies had the same traits. Now, that seems kind of like hard to like be like, okay, well, I'm not like a small group leader, I'm not a camp counselor, how does that apply to me? Well, think of your friends. When your friends talk to you, when they come to you about things, are you sitting there really listening to them? Are you really taking in what they say and not judging them for it? You're making sure to have an open mind about it. Are you taking the time to ask questions, to really get to know them? And then when the time comes, telling them about your story with Jesus. Now, those doors are a lot easier to see when you're actually looking for them. And a lot of times that's really awkward to do because we don't want to talk to our friends and be like, hey, Jesus is great, because that just seems really awkward. For some reason, it's become this weird, uncomfortable topic. And that's sad, honestly, but it's very true. And that's probably a lot of reasons why this room isn't super packed and every other youth group isn't super packed, because it's an awkward topic. We don't want to ruin our friendships over this, right? So I want to challenge you guys to really start looking for those doors, to pray, to seek those doors, because they're right in front of your face, to get to know those people. And when the moment comes, make sure to tell your story too. Thank you.
You guys, reminder to you, all of you, that you guys can be like those influences in her life. You guys can do that. You guys think about it. Say each one of you has 10 people that you influence. You have 10 people, 10 people, 10 people, 10 people, 10 people. Think how cool that would be if you actually use your influence to show them Jesus and to pass on what you know. Sabrina, you said it perfect when you said that this room is not full because of that. That's 100% true. You guys, youth groups, youth ministry is dying around the country, even more in the Northwest and Oregon. This is a dark state. I don't know if you guys know how dark our state is. It's a very anti-God state. I went to one of the biggest churches in Oregon. It's